Hi, I'm Adam Yenser, and welcome to the Canceled News. It's not politically correct, it's just actually correct. Please be sure to like and subscribe. If I can hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, it will be another arbitrary, meaningless milestone in the futile monotony of existence. And come see me live. I'll be headlining Tallman Brewing in Lebanon, Oregon on October 25th, Rogue Pub and Putt in Rogue River, Oregon on October 26th, and Inn of the Mountain Gods in New Mexico on November 21st. It's a very grandiose name, Inn of the Mountain Gods. Sounds much more impressive than Rogue Pub and Putt. Now, I was off for a few weeks because I was traveling for shows, and this is true. I was in the Tampa area the week that both Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton hit. So throughout the episode, I'll be showing some exclusive pictures of what the conditions on the ground were like. But first, here's what else is in the news. This Monday was Columbus Day, or as it's now more commonly known, Indigenous Peoples Day. So whereas I used to get mad at Columbus because the post office was closed, I now get mad at Indigenous people. A new Star Wars book from Disney features a transgender character who is nicknamed Sister to affirm her gender identity. At the climax, Sister encounters a young Jedi and reveals, "I was your father." That's one sister even Luke Skywalker wouldn't make out with. Disney is already working on a movie about Sister's transition surgery, and we have an exclusive clip.
Commence primary ignition.
Those jokes didn't get this episode demonetized. Those copyrighted clips will, but I think it was worth it. On Thursday, Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, who went into hiding after masterminding the October 7th terror attack, was killed in Gaza. Israeli troops were able to find him by figuring out the secrets of Yahya Sinwar's hood. This week, SpaceX launched its Super Heavy rocket booster, successfully maneuvered it to return back to the landing platform, and extended free Starlink internet access to hurricane victims through the end of the year. Or as Democrats put it, Elon Musk is dumb and bad and a threat to democracy. Speaking of the hurricanes, I want to show you the first of the pictures I took during my time in Florida. This first one is from Siesta Key Beach, which experienced a storm surge from Helene and was ground zero for Milton's landfall. Let's put it up. That's me relaxing on the beach. Those are my legs and not hairy hot dogs. I got to Siesta Key the day after Helene and left the day before Milton, so the weather was very nice and I collected these beautiful shells. I'll show you more pictures of the devastation a little later. For the first time in 24 years, China is sending 2 giant pandas to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. In exchange, Washington, D.C. gave China Eric Swalwell, the New York governor's office, and unrestricted access to all of our nation's children. According to a new report, Kamala Harris plagiarized several portions of her 2009 book, Smart on Crime. Specifically, the book begins, "It was the best of crimes, it was the worst of crimes." And this is just awful. In a blatant ripoff of Mark Twain, she named one of the criminals Jim. It was bleeped, so only my cameraman will ever know if I really said it or not. And obviously I didn't actually say it, but this episode is probably already demonetized, so why not try that joke? 6 new sexual assault lawsuits were filed against Sean Diddy Combs this week, including one involving a minor. It's so gross that dude kidnapped and had sex with an underage child, and he's standing next to Diddy, who's now accused of the same. Jimmy Page did that, you can look it up. A woman named Mary Saratella is continuing to pole dance at Hollywood's Bourbon Club at the age of 71. Patrons can tuck $1 in her G-string, or if they reach a little lower, her bra. Now I want to show you another picture from my time in the Tampa area amidst the hurricanes. This is the same picture as before, except this time those aren't my legs. They are, in fact, hairy hot dogs. I'll show you some more pictures in a little bit. The Dave Matthews Band is being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which will be officially changing its name to Just a List of Musicians. This year's Victoria's Secret fashion show featured 2 transgender models walking the runway in lingerie. Obviously, as a conservative Christian man, I applaud Victoria's Secret for finally stopping people from masturbating to their fashion show. It's a step in the right direction. Several members of an Amish family in Pennsylvania were hospitalized after ingesting toxic mushrooms. The Amish often experiment with mushrooms because it's the only chance they have to see lights and colors. According to a report in the Daily Mail, second gentleman Doug Mhof once struck an ex-girlfriend in the face after an argument. Mhof believed she was flirting with another man at the Cannes Film Festival and gave her the old palme d'or. Now I have another picture from Florida the day before Hurricane Milton. You may have heard the rather grim advisory from officials that people should write their name on their leg in marker so their body could be identified if they were washed away. So I did that. Obviously, this was a very serious situation, so I used my real legal name and not the silly made-up stage name I use for this YouTube show. Bath & Body Works pulled a winter-themed candle from their shelves because the design looks like Ku Klux Klan hoods. It's perfect if you're dreaming of a white Christmas. This marks the first time snowflakes have been offended by an actual snowflake. But the design is crazy, and I don't think they made it better. They've replaced it with their new glowing holiday cross candle. Limm Biscuit is suing Universal Music Group for $200 million over years of unpaid royalties. The band says they never received a cent from the thousands of times their songs were streamed to torture prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. Now, before I end this episode, I want to say that as much as I joked around a little about the hurricanes, in reality, the impact has been devastating, and there are a lot of people who need help. I recommend donating to Lutheran Disaster Response. I'll put the link below. I know it's not entirely appropriate to just stand here making crass jokes about such a serious situation. Now here's the final photo I want to show you. This was taken on Siesta Key Beach 2 days before Hurricane Milton made landfall. It's a man in an I Love Titties and Beer hat staring at a large woman bending over in a bathing suit. According to experts, she's a Category 5 and the area around that eye is unsurvivable.